So this is going to be my thoughts on foam rolling, why I wouldn't recommend it for most people, and some more effective alternatives. So foam roller is a tube of compressed foam that you roll, your calf on, or your hamstring or your quad, roll a part of your body on to supposedly achieve a myofascial release or a loosening up of muscles. And there are lots of different brands out there. Some of them are half the width of this, half the length. Some of them are third. Some of them have bumps on them. But they all have the same flaw, in my opinion. So I'm going to go through the pros, cons, and my recommendation. The pros of a foam roller are that it's soft, it's not dense, it's very wide, and so it's not going to be a very deep release, which is a flaw, but it's also could be good for people who are a total beginner to self-massage, someone who has had a very extreme traumatic injury and they need to go easy for a few months before they work into more deeper releases. And it could also be good for someone who's like elderly, or someone who's got very fragile, delicate, that needs to, again, go very easy on their muscles. Now the con is those same attributes, the fact that it's soft, not very dense, very wide, is the major flaw of it. The fact that it's wide means you can't pinpoint a specific muscle very well. And the fact that it's not very hard means you're not going to be getting to the deeper sort of adhesions in the fascia. So the fascia layers that we've got around muscles, with a foam roller, you're really only going to be affecting the superficial layers, the layers closer to the skin, whereas a lot of the knots people have, the adhesions, the things they need to release in their quad or whatever part of the body are closer to the bone, they're deeper. And you're not going to address those with a foam roller because it's too soft, it's too wide, it's not hard enough. So recommendation, I wouldn't recommend buying it for most people unless use it if you have access to one at a gym and you're just a total beginner getting into this, but I wouldn't recommend buying one because you're going to outgrow it pretty quickly and then you won't have much of a use for it, like I don't now, or haven't for many years. And so in saying that, it would be good for someone, like I said, who's had a very serious injury and needs to go easy for a while, or someone elderly who's not going to be able to use one of the more deeper myofascial tools which I'm about to introduce. So these are two alternatives to the foam roller which I would recommend. So this is a PVC pipe offcut. You can get this for free, if not very, very cheap. It's you just ring up a plumber or a tradesperson, ask if they've got any offcuts. This width is good for me for most parts of the body, but everyone's different. So just get a few different widths, 2 or 3. I'll post the width of this below so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. A piece of wood like this, if it's perfectly straight and it's going to roll well, would also be a good alternative to the foam roller, because they're not as wide, they're a lot harder. You can actually go slower and pinpoint more accurately where the trigger point is, where the knot in your muscle, where the tightness, where the pain is. You can actually work on it, work around it a lot more accurately than you would if you're using a foam roller. These are some other tools, myofascial release tools, trigger point therapy tools that I would generally recommend. I get a lot of use out of them. So just quickly, this is the Phoenix board. It's this board which comes with all these holes in them, and you've got these digits as well which come in different lengths, and you just plug them in and then lie your body on them on a specific angle to get the release you want in the muscle that you want. And so, if that's too long, you can use a shorter one. And they've also got thicker ones like that. So they've got a variety of different ones you can add in. This is a lacrosse ball. It seems to be one of the most popular types of balls for myofascial release. You can use it just like the PVC pipe on most parts of the body. But the bonus with this is you can use it up against a wall as well for, say, the area around your shoulder blade. It's also quite good to use a lacrosse ball for that. And also Theracane, a classic one that many people recommend. It's got all these knobs on it that you can kind of see hook over your shoulder, work on a sore part of your back or your neck, things like that. Very versatile tool. So in summary, I don't really recommend the foam roller. Definitely get one of these or a few. They've, you can get them for free, if not, very cheaply. And look into some of these tools that I've shown here as well. I'll put information in the description below on where you can get all of these things. Another last thing to be aware of is that you need to address the root cause, which is your activities. So you can't just be doing a destructive activity like a deadlift and then use the best myofascial release tools, the best recovery tools to fix your body up afterwards. If you go back to the destructive activity that you did in the first place, you're not going to address the root cause, and the problem's just going to continue. So you have to address the root cause, which is your biomechanics, the way you're moving, the way you walk, the way you run, the way you throw. And for that, I highly recommend checking out functional patterns. That's how I learned about most of this, very influential on my journey. So I'll put the information for them in the description below as well. Comment below if you've got any questions, or if you have any comments or other tools that you use to release muscles. Like there might be some that I don't know about. If that's the case, please comment below. I'd love to hear about them.